guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to talk to you about the #1 reason why most people fail when they start a business. This goes for Amazon, this goes for any type of business that you can think of, and I literally feel like I have cracked the code. In this video, I'm going to share with you what you can do in order to set yourself apart from the vast majority of people who will not listen to this advice and who will go on being stuck and being miserable with where they are at, but you will know what you need to do in order to actually hit those goals, start that business, and propel yourself into the life that you deserve and the one that you desire. So if you want to know some of these things that I have learned over my past 6 years in business, after making millions of dollars, both selling on Amazon and just in general with my other streams of income, keep watching this video. Before we get started, I want to let you know about my brand new women's only membership, which will be linked in the description below. It's called Women Create Wealth, where we talk about things like what we're discussing here today, the barriers that sometimes we as women face when starting businesses and how to overcome them. Along with that, there are a number of different workshops geared towards helping you learn the different methods of diversifying your streams of income. Things like affiliate marketing, things like real estate, things like influencing, things like faceless YouTube channels, anything that you can think of in order to make money on the side or to supplement your income. We will be discussing fresh new ways of doing that inside of our membership. So feel free to check that out in the description below. So with that, let's go ahead and jump right into today's video. I want to start this video by talking about a TikTok that I watched recently. I know you're thinking, girl, I'm not taking the TikTok seriously, but I will say what really stuck with me about this TikTok is that this woman was talking about women in their careers and women with kind of leveling up their finances. And she said that the most successful women that she knows play a game called Truth and Dare. And that kind of stuck with me. I'm like, truth and dare. It's not an either or, it's both. And that really made me think about my journey with entrepreneurship and how I have arrived at the place where I am now, where money almost comes easily to me. And I don't say that to brag, but I say it to let you know that fortune favors the bold. I don't know if that's a quote. I think maybe it's something similar, but truly that is something that I believe, because I have come to realize how many people are so afraid of action, are so afraid of doing something because they are playing tricks on themselves and making it seem as though they are incapable of doing something, or that there are too many barriers in the way of completing a task or starting that one thing that you're really passionate about, or that one thing that you've always wanted to do. And for some of us, that might be being an influencer. Maybe you've always wanted to share parts of your life, or you've always wanted to have brand deals and work with these big companies and have them sponsor your content. Maybe you've always wanted to be a YouTuber, but you're scared to get on camera because all you have is your phone and you don't have a fancy lighting setup and you don't have all of the best editing software and all of these amazing things. What I want to tell you is that if you just start, you are already ahead of the vast majority of people who will only ever think about the things that you're thinking of. And honestly, when I think about this topic, I get really, really worked up, because I want you all to know that the person who you are probably looking up to, or the people that you see on social media or in traditional media, celebrities, whoever it is that you are using kind of as inspiration or motivation, or you just love their content, you love their lifestyle, you love what they do, you love what they stand for, you love who they are. Remember that all of these people started somewhere, and that somewhere probably isn't where they are now. Many of us, myself included, had to start from the bottom, where, you are trying something for the first time and you don't know if it's going to work out for you or not. You don't know if you're doing it the right way. You know that people are judging you. You know that people are looking at you and maybe not understanding what your vision is or why you're doing what you're doing. And I'm here to tell you that that's okay. It's all part of the process. In these beginning stages, when you are learning how to do something new, let's call it, you want to have a stream of income and you're always scrolling on TikTok and you see all of these people promoting stuff for the TikTok shop. I want you to sit here and think of yourself doing that same thing. If you cringe, it's okay. If you get excited, that's great. Ultimately, you have to push past the fear of doing that thing, maybe because you feel like no one's going to watch your videos, no one's going to care about what you have to say. Maybe you're self-conscious about the place that you live. You don't feel like you have a private place to record. You feel like your house is messy. You feel like you need to lose weight. You feel like you need to get your hair done. You feel like you need better clothes. I want to tell you that perfection is the enemy of progress. Done is better than perfect. If you can just get yourself to get on camera, even when you don't feel like it, even when you feel like, oh, this could be better, that could be better, you are going to set yourself up to, one, become more comfortable. And I'm just using that as an example. But two, also build momentum, okay? Things don't just happen out of nowhere. You have to put a little bit of force, a little bit of a catalyst for something to be able to snowball. I want you to think of the most impactful person in your life. It could be a family member, maybe a loved one, a parent, a good friend, a boss at work, a manager, whoever that you see and you're like, wow, they're really doing great in life. You have to understand that, one, you don't know what's really going on with that person or what it takes for them to show up that way, that you are in a position where you're admiring them. You don't know what it takes. You don't know if they're waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to make sure that everything is perfectly perfect, or how hard they're working on things in the background. And so you really have to get comfortable with that idea of being uncomfortable, knowing that, okay, I'm doing something for the first time. This might be a little bit challenging. This might be a little bit scary. This might be something where I have to fall on my face before I get back up and do it better the next time around. But constantly looking at things as if it's this scary, untouchable thing, it's so mysterious, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to do that, you are only digging yourself into a deeper hole. And then what happens when you keep on doing that is it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't know if you guys have heard of that concept before, that term before. That is something that I have thought about since I was literally a child. I remember hearing that term and I thought about it and I'm like, a self-fulfilling prophecy. So does that mean that the more I am negative towards myself, the more I beat myself up, the more I am bullying myself, that I am in turn making that my reality? But it was something that stuck with me and has stuck with me up until this point. And that's really kind of what made me think more about the mindset aspect of everything. And I will be completely honest and say that I am not a person that's really into the fluffy, abstract, like, ooh, get your mindset right, manifestation. Like, I've never been that person that has been super into that. But I will say that believing is seeing. And I know normally people say that the other way, seeing is believing, but I literally think about it the other way, because I think back to the times before I had ever made $1 selling on Amazon, or $1 selling digital products, or $1 with affiliate marketing or whatever. And I would think about what my life would be like if I was able to actually make this thing work. I would daydream. I would dream about all of these things, like, wow, if I can just have that Amazon product take off for me, then what will my life be like? And I remember thinking about the possibilities was really a huge source of motivation for me. I started to really imagine what my life would be like, how I would be able to help my family, how I would be able to pay down my debt and not stress about bills and not stress about money. I wasn't even thinking about the luxuries of life that I have now. I wasn't thinking about buying a luxury car or having designer bags or fancy jewelry or traveling first class. I wasn't thinking about any of those things. I was thinking about survival and necessities and just having a level of peace. And then when I started to see things happening for me, then I started to think like, wow, maybe I will be able to actually buy a house before I'm 30. Maybe I will actually be able to, see these places that I've only ever read about or seen in movies or dreamt about. And being able to visualize those things for yourself, being able to put them out into the universe in some way, whether it is writing it down in a journal, writing it in your notes app even. That's where I put everything, in my notes app. I wish I was a journal girly. I wish I was a planner girl and could have it be aesthetic and cute and all of that stuff. But everyone's different and different things are easier for different people. So if it's easier for you to just write down things into your notes app on your phone, just do that. And put it out there. You have to believe it enough to be able to say it, to be able to write it, to be able to visualize it. You can make a vision board on a place like Canva and just really think about all of these different components of what your dream life would look like. your dream self, what kinds of foods would you eat? How would you spend your time? What time would you wake up in the morning? Would you do things to keep your body moving? Would you care about how you look? Not in a superficial way, but would your hygiene be on point? Would you, I don't know, be nice to people? Would you talk to strangers if you were that person that you're imagining? And that way you can start to make it feel more real for yourself. The further you distance yourself away from that version of yourself that you want to be, that's going to become the reality. You're going to realize as time goes on, people who you can identify in your life who just seem miserable, it's like that idea that misery loves company. You're going to start to notice these little qualities and you're like, well, that's the reason why life sucks for you, because you believe that it sucks for you. And then it becomes the truth. It becomes your reality. And so if that's the case, then the inverse of that is, let me consume productive content. Let me only follow people on my social media who bring me joy, who inspire me, who motivate me. Let me only listen to podcasts about, the things that actually are exciting for me. Let me not maybe consume as much stuff on pop culture or follow people who make me feel bad about myself, about my body, about where I am in life. You really need to be conscious of what you are allowing into your energy, what you're allowing into your space, and that will make a difference. I know it seems, or it might seem to some of you might be with me right now, but for those of you who might be a little bit more cynical like I am, you might be thinking like, girl, that's not gonna work. That's just silly. That's pointless. It's stupid. I challenge you, if you're watching this video right now, go through the people who you are seeing on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter or whatever social medias you frequent, Facebook even, the ones that give you that anxious feeling, that make you feel strange about anything that you have going on in your own life, make you self-conscious, unfollow them, unfriend them, block them, do whatever you need to do to create that bubble of peace and positivity around yourself and focus on that and that alone. That way you can have a safe mental space where you can focus on what else is important in your life, like working on a side hustle or starting a business or even starting a new hobby. It doesn't have to be something financial. Me personally, I'm the type of girl where if it ain't making me money, I'm not really spending my time on it, but not everyone is like that. Some people genuinely like just doing things for the fun of it, and you deserve to have that as well. And honestly, anything that you do that puts you in a better mental space is going to be good for your life overall. So it doesn't have to be necessarily financial, but I do want to say that business and everything that comes with it is all about who you are. It's about where your mental state is at and where you condition your mental state to be. I'm not saying you have to be a happy, positive person by nature, but there are things that you can do to minimize the impact of the negativity that comes in externally. Reinforce yourself, build a barricade. And if anything negative is coming in, even people in your life, friends, family, coworkers who have something negative to say, block them out. Block them out. They're not contributing to your growth. So you don't need to deal with them. And if you apply those same principles in life also to business, you will be even better for it. From there, you will realize, okay, I don't have to be the most perfect version. I don't have to produce the most perfect product, the most perfect service, the most perfect anything. There is room to grow. There is room to get better. I can always make improvements. You just have to look at it that way and put yourself out there. Okay, take that first step, whatever that is, for whatever it is that you're thinking about right now. I hope as you're watching this video, maybe you have one or two or maybe a handful of things that you're like, yeah, maybe I can just do that thing. Maybe I should just go for it and see what happens. The worst that can happen is that you don't get the exact perfect outcome that you're thinking of, but at least you did it. At least you tried, at least you put in an effort, and at least you gave yourself that start, that first step. That is the hardest part for everyone. I promise you. The first step is the hardest. Starting is the hardest, okay? So if you can do that and you can center yourself and you can say, you know what? Ultimately, this is going to work out for me. I'm just going to try. And even if it doesn't work out the first time, guess what? I can try again. And if it doesn't work out that time, guess what? I can try again. And you will be pleasantly surprised by the outcome. So I really hope that this video just gave you a little bit of motivation about, how you can reframe your thinking to call in more success into your life, more abundance into your life, more growth into your life. So if you did like this video, I would love if you could give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.